Hi, this is Barry J. McDonald here, and I'd like to welcome you to today's blog post over at writecom.com. And today we had a look at how much would you pay for a customer. So if I was to ask you today, how much would you pay to get a customer's, to make a sale or to get customers' details, how much would you pay? Would you pay 10 cents? Would you pay $1? Would you pay $5? 10, 15, 20? Now some of those later figures will probably seem a little bit expensive, and maybe you'd say, well, I couldn't afford to, to spend that much money, and maybe you can't, maybe you're not in a position to do so at the minute. But, what is your cut-off point? What is the point where, you will be willingly pay to get a customer or customer's details, get that lead, Now, the only way it seems expensive is if you're just making one sale at a time. There's so many stores that we go to nowadays. We walk in, whatever it is, a butcher shop, could be a hardware shop or anything else, and you go in and you make a purchase and you hand over your cash and you walk out the door. And it's very rare that any of those businesses would actually try to get your details, to follow up with you, to keep in touch with you. At the end of the day, out of all the stores in the town, maybe all the butchers or all the hardware stores, they were the one that you picked. So to make a sale to you again the next time, was a lot cheaper. But you still find a lot of those companies will go to the local newspapers or TV stations or radio stations and, they'll pay big money for advertising rather than actually trying to grab hold of that customer that walked out the door, to get some kind of way of following up with them. If there's any promotions on, if there's any sales or anything else, it's so cheap to send an email out to that list of all those customers, or, to target an ad on Facebook to that group. And again, as I said, because you've already purchased at that business, the chances that you're going to purchase off that, if you were happy with what they sold you, the chances are that you're going to purchase off that company again. And you're going to find so many people do that, go to Facebook and things like that, and they set up Facebook ads, and they're giving it then when the leads that they're getting are very expensive, that maybe they're getting a lead maybe for $2, $3. But the only reason why that is expensive is if you're only making a one-off sale. Look at your business today. Like if you're a published author, if you have a series of books, whether they're fiction, non-fiction, colouring books, or any kind of books that you've created, if you're only making one sale to that customer, and then you're spending a lot of money to get the second customer, wouldn't it be better to actually go back to that first customer and see if you can sell something else to them? Wouldn't it be better to have some kind of sales funnel up if you were selling them a fiction book, where you get them in a funnel that they get the first in the series, and then all of a sudden then you email them then about the second in the series and the third in the series. So then all of a sudden maybe you've gone from selling to that customer just once, maybe you sold to that customer maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and you have them in a kind of a chain that they can't actually get out of. Not that you want them to get out of, you want them to go from one product after the next product. But a lot of people will, try their hardest, they'll spend a lot of time to go get, fresh customer every time, instead of recycling the ones that they have. I've often said it before and I'll say it again, your next customer was your last one. And if you're not kind of following up with that last customer, getting their details, and, trying to sell to them again, like what was the point of getting them in the first place? It's so hard to sell to a fresh customer, and it's so easy to sell to your last one. So have a look at how much would you pay for a customer. Another thing you could try out too is, and something I've never seen done before, and if you try it out you may be surprised by how effective it is and how it'll make you stand out in your niche. And that is the last page of your book. If you put a big link or address, domain name or whatever it is, and if you direct that person to your website, well, you will give them back the money they paid for your book. So for example, if you sold someone a fiction book for 99 cents, at the back of the page of the book, what if you had a link saying, come over to my blog and I'll pay you back that 99 cents. Now it may seem a bit weird, but when you actually think about it, you're actually getting a customer, a paying customer, to come to your blog, and whether you give over that 99 cents or whether you set up maybe a coupon thing where you say, well, come on over and I'll give you the equivalent coupon of what you paid, and you can spend it on my online store. So again, for example, if someone was maybe into colouring books and they purchased a colouring book on Amazon for $4.99, and on the last page of that colouring book you had a link saying, come over to my my bookstore, my online bookstore, which of course would be on your website, and come on over there and I will give you a coupon for the purchase price of that book you paid. So they come over to your blog, they sign up, they give you their details, and you send them a voucher for the $4.99 that is redeemable in your online store. Now the best thing about that is you are getting, as I said earlier, you're getting that customer details, their email details, and they're a paying customer. And you know, it makes you stand out. Like, how many authors, you know, will give their readers, you know, the purchase price back of their book? And then as well too, when you have them over on your own blog, then you can have a Facebook pixel or anything else to record their information. So then you can target them again in the future in a Facebook ad, or set up an audience, or you know, a lookalike audience of all those people that come to your blog. So when they come to and they redeem the coupon, you know, you have your list of other colouring books, and they purchase one of them using the coupon. And then as well too, because you're giving them a coupon for $4.99, then they're looking at that book that they're downloading or they purchase on your website as being something of that value with the $4.99. You know, it's not a freebie that you toss together and, you know, put a couple of images together that they can download in the PDF. You know, they can see more value in that because, you know, they have to redeem that $4.99 to get that book. So there's a value on that second book that they're getting. And then even if you needed to, you know, physically post out that book to them, all of a sudden then you've got the physical mailing address of that customer. You know, if you imagine if you had all your customers' mailing addresses, imagine if you posted out a leaflet every month or a newsletter and you're advertising your books. How much competition are you going to be up against? You know, how many colouring books are you going to competing with in the mailing box? Again, even fiction authors. You know, how many fiction authors are you going to be competing against? Zero, because nobody's actually sending out newsletters or flyers or any of this stuff in the mail. And then as well too, you know, when you get people back to your bookstore on your site, you know, the competition's gone down from zero. You may have had a ton of competition in the colouring book section on the Amazon store, but when people get over to your blog or your website where you're selling your colouring books or your fiction books, the competition has dropped completely to zero. There's only you. You're only competing against, you know, you're selling your work to them, so you're not competing against anybody. So it's well worth trying out. You know, what are you willing to pay for a customer? You know, you may think, well, you know, I'm paying a lot of money for those Facebook ads. You know, it's to get a reader to download my book or do that. Have a look at it, some way you can reduce that. You know, set up a funnel of books. You know, that customer's going to buy off you again and again. You know, get their email addresses. And so many times I tell people to build an email list and email your list over and over and over again. And you know, it's going to work out far cheaper for you in the long run if you do something like that. So have a look at some of the ideas in today's blog post and put them into use, and you will find that, you know, that some people will complain about how much they're paying for leads and it's too expensive to do that. Whereas you look around and you say, that's the cheapest lead I ever bought, because, you know, you've got a customer there for life. So my name's been Barry J. McDonald. This has been today's blog post of writecom.com. So if you'd like to know a little bit more about me, or you want to pick up 2 of my great free reports, one of them is how to sell more books, and actually have a trick in it that can show you how to keep track of your book promotions and see which ones are actually, you know, where your money is going and whether they're actually worth your while. I highly recommend you drop by and you pick up that report. Or if you're just interested in self-publishing and you want to know more about, you know, how to make money from your words, I have a great free report at the moment, and it shows 10 ways to make money from writing. So if you'd like to find out a little bit more about me, or you'd like to find either of those reports, just come on over to writecom.com and we'll be glad to see you over there. Take care. Bye-bye.